It is night in Macbeth's castle of Dunsinane. A doctor and a gentlewoman wait. The gentlewoman called the doctor because she has seen Lady Macbeth sleepwalking the last few nights. But she refuses to say what Lady Macbeth says or does.
Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life fast asleep. Observe her. Stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why? It stood by her. She has light by her continually. This her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
But your sense is shut.
What is it she does now? Look, how she rubs her hand.
It is a custom action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her continue in this a quarter of an hour. Here is pot.
Hark! She speaks. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, dense pot, out! Out, I say! One, two. Why then it's time to do it? Hell is murky. Pie, my lord, pie. A soldier and a feared. When need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Lady Macbeth, who once naively thought she could just wash her hands and forget Duncan's murder, is now sleepwalking and so full of guilt that she imagines her hands are always covered in blood.
The Thane of Five had a wife. Where is she now? When will these hands ever be clean? No more of that, Bella. No more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoken what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known. Here is the smell of this blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will never sweeten this little hand.
What a size there! The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those which have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banker is buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so,
Too bad. There's a knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. Too bad.
will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God, forgive us all. Look after her, remove from her the means of all annoyance, and still keep eyes upon her. So, good night. My mind she has mated, and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Lady Macbeth's guilt makes it impossible for her to hide the horrors that she and Macbeth have committed. Her conscience is rebelling against the unnatural fiend that ambition has turned her into.
So hi, okay, let's move on to the next part of this assignment, which is I will be showing you our slideshow that will be explaining about the significance of the part. So first of all, our previous video were presented by Nur Syadatul Najiha binti Soni Nizam as Lady Macbeth, Nur Hana Shakira binti Kamaruddin as the doctor, Nurul Aina binti Muhammad K. Watiang as the gentlewoman, M. Faramasni binti Isa as the narrator, Nur Nadira binti Muhammad Effendi as the editor, and lastly, me myself, Melin binti Peter as the slide preparer. So, as you all have already know, we have chosen the play of The Tragedy of Macbeth by William Shakespeare, and we will be describing about a major character, which is Lady Macbeth, specifically in Act 5, Scene 1, where it shows that Lady Macbeth has been sleepwalking. Okay, Lady Macbeth character analysis in Act 5, Scene 1. The staging of this scene is made clear by the first 10 lines of the scene. The gentlewoman's description of how Lady Macbeth has sleepwalked in the past acts as a stage direction for the actress playing Lady Macbeth. Her agitated reading of a letter is of course a visual reminder of her reading of the fateful letter, which can be seen in Act 1, Scene 5. More than this, Lady Macbeth is also seen to rub her hands in a washing action that recalls her line, "A little water clears us of this deed," in Act 2, Scene 2, where Macbeth had just killed King Duncan. If these words are not enough to arouse the doctor's suspicions, those that follow must suggest to him not only that she is suffering, but also the reason for that suffering. Next, Lady Macbeth's speech has also become fragmented and broken by an enormous emotional pressure. The suave hostess and cool domineering wife has been reduced to a gibbering creature whose speech has almost signifies nothing. There are no logical connections between her memories or her sentences, and indeed, the devastation of her mind is so complete that she cannot recall events in their correct order. For example, "Out damned spot" is followed by "The 10 of 5 had a wife," referring to Lady Macduff. Later, we hear the line "Banquo's buried, he cannot come out one's grave," and finally she believes that she hears Macduff is knocking at the gate. It is as though all the individual murders have coalesced into one seamless pageant of blood. Next, the analysis also shows that Lady Macbeth's line, "What's done can be undone," has reverses her earlier argument to her husband, which she has said before, "What's done is done," in Act 3, Scene 2. Moreover, the doctor also agrees that he thinks Lady Macbeth needs a divine, more like a priest, to heal. Now, though the promise of salvation has been all but abandoned, hell is murky, says Lady Macbeth, and that spiritual darkness is echoed by the fact that the scene is played entirely in the dark, with the exception of one candle which Lady Macbeth insists on having next to her. She may be sleepless, but it is her soul's rest that really concerns her.
Now moving on to the summary of Lady Macbeth's character developments. In Act 1, Lady Macbeth started as a cold woman that dreams of the throne. She wants Macbeth to become the king and would do anything to help him achieve that. In Act 2, Lady Macbeth seems to be courageous and calm as she has to support Macbeth, who has just killed King Duncan. She remains assertive. However, we can also see her vulnerable part throughout Act 2. In Act 3, Lady Macbeth was beginning to regret participating in the murder of Duncan to gain the throne, saying, "Our desire is God without content." She was implying that they have achieved their ultimate desire, which is the throne, but they are not content. In Act 5, Lady Macbeth could be described as becoming mad from guilt. For example, she was sleepwalking at night and muttering about washing blood spot away. She also talks about how much blood there is and rubs her hands as if she was washing them. By the end of the play, the night before Macbeth was going to war, Lady Macbeth took her own life by jumping off a castle tower. This was since she could not bear the remorse and guilt anymore. Okay, now we're going to talk about why we believe that Lady Macbeth is the most prominent character in this play. Firstly, lust for power and fame can corrupt a person and promote immorality. Once Lady Macbeth learns of the prophecy, she sees the possibility of becoming a queen. It is at that point that she decided that the end justifies the means and she can get what she wanted. Secondly, she taught us the effectiveness of bullying to get what you want. Lady Macbeth wanted to be a queen, but her husband was unwilling to kill for the throne. Lady Macbeth's response was to verbally abuse and bullying her husband into action, and it works. Lastly, guilt is real and quite powerful. Her guilt ultimately destroyed her mentally and emotionally. It was so intense that it affects her physical health through sleep deprivation.